Hey, so it's kind of been a while since I've done an update on this car. I'm a little out of breath. I kind of just ran all the way across the shop. But last time I think you saw this car would have been summer of 2023, roughly. At the time, I'm pretty sure I just finished putting on this light bar, which is now all wired up, as you can see. I'll go into the detail of how I did that in a little bit. I've got a couple of tricks of actually running wiring on this car that'd make it a whole lot easier than running it through the firewall. So I got these lenses in. They're actually a whole housing kit, so the entire housing actually comes out just by removing this bolt. And then you've got this piece, stick like a little pry bar under there, pull tabs out, the whole headlight comes out. You can do all your bulbs and everything really easy that way. Both these came off eBay, so it seems to me like people tend to order just the one side more than the other, because this side had pretty good fitment, and that side had a few fitment issues with the actual caps on the back for the light bulbs. In order for them to stay in the housing, you have to kind of brute force them in. But other than that, I've just been driving this almost every single day. It still has that new AC compressor in it. This thing does leak Freon summer, so it doesn't actually have AC right now, but it's ready to get a new condenser in the summertime, and we'll see if we can fix that. In recent times, what I've done, just on New Year's, I had to actually pull the, let me see if I can turn the flashlight on. I had to actually pull timing cover off and do a new gasket. You can kind of see where all that grime is at that freeze plug. There's a new gasket in there. So I had to actually pull the timing cover off, get all this stuff out of here, and do that. Before that, I actually thought it was just a water pump, and I replaced the water pump in a parking lot in the middle of the night, only for it to continuously leak. And I realized that that point up there is a common failure point. So if you have one of these 3-liter Vulcans, make sure you're not leaking from there. I still have a little bit of a coolant leak from somewhere. I haven't really been able to figure it out yet, but the level in my reservoir seems to be pretty consistent, so I'm not too worried about it. The power steering pump is basically just a pulley at this point. I still have power steering, but you can tell it's definitely getting pretty sad. If you're looking to run any wiring in this car, it is actually really easy. You can see here I have my fuse for my amp and my fuse for my light bar. I've just kind of tucked them away for now here. They're not really in the way of anything. I just now finished putting a battery blanket on this for the winter, so I just had to hook that all up. There's a really nice ground right here you can use. There's the relay for the light bar, and how I ran my wiring. Some people will look for a wiring grommet somewhere in the back here, but if you just take this fender liner out, your main wiring loom just runs right up above it, and then there's a grommet back there you can cut a hole into, and then when you come inside, all your wiring will just come out right back here. It's a little bit of a pain to get your hand up there, but if you have a second pair of hands, another guy, and if you twist it just right, you can get one going, and then you can pull the rest of it through. A few things I've done into the interior of this car is I've put a aftermarket deck into it. So I got this Metro kit, and I've opted with this Kenwood right here. Here's the serial number if you're looking at getting something like this. Is a full Bluetooth deck, so it's just not in the right mode because I had the battery disconnected. But if I wait for my phone to connect here, I have the Jesus. Yeah, so that works nice. This bezel is a little cheap now. These Metro kits were known to be pretty good, but they seem to have cheaped out a bit. One of my dials actually broke while I was installing this, which sucks, but it does the job. Everything works on here as far as I know. It was pretty plug and play. It comes with a big long harness you gotta run from Let's turn my flashlight back on. From the back, I ran mine in a really accessible spot with my RC Ace here, so in case I have any wiring issues, I can diagnose that. But I just ran it behind this kick panel. Got all this door trim, you can go down all the way to the back. And then once you reach the back, you'll be able to get this back seat out and then run it all through here. And then mine just come out. My sub wires just come out right there. And then, yeah, your radio control unit's in the back there behind the spare on these wagons, but in the sedan it'll be on the same side. So I've put the subs in, I've wired those up. While I did the timing cover gasket, I also went ahead and did a sway bar link in the front because it was completely disconnected and broken. Other than that, it's just been kind of odds and ends. I still got a box in the back of some parts I want to install. Mainly things like LED dash lights and LED overhead lights, map lights and stuff. Once the summertime rolls around, I'm thinking of doing some AC work to this car. It'd be a condenser and accumulator. Because these cars run on recirc when you're running the defrost. And you know, when it's about 50 below outside with the wind, yeah, humidity accumulates very easily on these windows, and they'll basically just freeze up, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. This car still has a few leaks here and there, but other than that, you kind of got to be grateful for what you have and how cheap and easy parts are for these. This car will be needing a serpentine belt tensioner pretty soon, which is just down there, but luckily I've had this water pump out about 3 times now, so getting down there and getting that out is going to be probably a 5-minute job. But you know, once you kind of dig into these cars and you get underneath them, you kind of realize how rusty they actually are. So this car's getting pretty rusty underneath, so not looking to sink more money than I have to into it. But if you're kind of in the same scenario I am, when it's 50 below outside, it's nice having a car that just starts. So I'm making sure that my battery stays nice and healthy. I just put new terminals on it. There's a fresh battery just from the summer, you know, 720 cold cranking amps. Not bad. So this thing's been firing up every single morning, no problem. But yeah, I just got back from boosting a buddy's car, and this thing performed pretty good. It does seem to be, the alternator does seem to bog down quite a bit when someone's trying to start their car. So I'm probably going to end up looking into getting a 200 amp alternator, or somewhere in that range. Maybe get this one rebuilt into a 200. But other than that, I'm going to be running more lighting on this car. If you're not really interested in that sort of stuff, you can probably click off the video now. But some of the parts I got going in this car would be a lot of auxiliary things. You know, this is kind of just become a mobile workstation of sorts. But these are all parts for the SHO outside. And then I've got a new cabin filter for this car. I've got some tie rod ends for the steering tie rod, or inner and outer. Yeah. These are my interior LED lights. I've got these for the dash to make it red. You know, some stuff you just find on sale. Like I got a switch panel that's going to be used for all the lights I'm going to be putting on. I've got 2 more pods to go on the rack, along with this 12-inch light that also has a strobe mode. I've got this hose for the windshield sprayer. So yeah, it's got a couple more little things to take care of, but and like a valve cover gasket, and I've got like intake gaskets for too somewhere that are hoping to go on at the same time. So yeah, this thing's been just being a trooper. And we just got another oil change when I did the timing case cover gasket, because some debris fell in the timing case or into the oil pan. So this has a new oil pan gasket on as well, which we're sitting at, let's come on, focus, 350,000 kilometers. So yeah, short little update on this car. Got hopefully a few more things coming to it. But yeah,